Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. Welcome to the live match reaction to Fulham 1, Everton 2. Everton come from behind to win, a rare occurrence in itself, but Everton picked 3 points up at the expense of Fulham, one of our, of course, European rivals. So it keeps us in the race for Europe. And Everton win, let's say we win ugly, because we didn't really deserve to win this game. But we were second best for the first hour of this game, but we came to life in the last half an hour, got 2 goals, and we come away with 3 points. Whether or not you think we deserved it, it's very much up for debate. But we were pretty decent second half, but if not spectacular. But let's get the negatives out the way first, because the first half we were absolutely woeful. We didn't lay a glove on Fulham. They just dominated the ball. They kept driving at us. The defenders had no answers. And, for all our flaws, normally you can at least say an Everton team is defensively disciplined. We weren't even that in the first half. Some of the defending was shocking. None more so than for the goal, which came after just short of 20 minutes, when Michael Keane, basically a ball gets played in behind. We basically Michael Keane gets across, looks like he's won the ball back, but tries to back heel the clearance that goes straight to another Fulham player. He squares it. Raul Jimenez has a shot saved by Pickford, and then it bounces over the line off Mikalenko for an own goal. And that kind of summed up our entire first half, because it was absolutely shambolic. We were shocking. It's difficult. I feel like I should be happier than I actually am after a win. I feel like I'm really happy that we got the 3 points on the board, but it still doesn't fill me with too much confidence that we will qualify for Europe, because we're a team that relies too much, I think, on moments. We have a few players with quality who can provide moments and get us goals when it looks unlikely, and that's the problem for me, is that for us as a team, goals look unlikely like 90% of the time, but in the other 10% we do manage to seem to find a way, which is great. It seems that mentally we have got a resilience and a mentality where we don't roll over, which is great, and it does get you so far. But I feel like we do need to have more quality and more. I think this is on the manager more than the players, but we need to have a more cohesive setup that enables us to attack the way Fulham attacked in the first half. If we could get a style of play where we attacked with Fulham's cohesion and combined with our existing defensive discipline, the sky's the limit for this team. It's just a shame. But I just think if we had more, if we had a bit more of a cohesive style of play and a bit of a, I feel like we sometimes we don't look like we rely on moments of magic or set pieces. But if we could attack more cohesively, my goodness, we could beat anyone in this league. Like, the mental resilience is clearly there, and that'll get us a long way. Whether it's enough for Europe remains to be seen, but it's a start. As Danny Boyle say, like I say, I'm getting the negatives out the way first. He says we're seventh, and that's, the table doesn't lie. We're in the running for Europe still, very much so. Stephen Frost says, I'm starting to believe in this team. Results are the thing, though. Yeah, it is. It's about getting the results, and that's the thing. I think we are getting the results, even when we don't deserve them. We didn't really deserve a point out of Brighton, but we got one. We didn't deserve 3 points certainly today, but we got them. That's 4 points where we probably shouldn't have had, but that we've got on the board. So why not think we can shit out a few more results as the season goes on? I don't know how much we can get away with that, but it's a start, and we're definitely on course for a much better league finish than last season. And I said at the start of the season we finish 11th, and I'd have taken it. I thought that I would have been content with progress this season. Anything higher than 13th would have been an all right season. and it looks like we're on course for that, so we can't really complain too much. If it's enough for Europe, then if we qualify for Europe, it's an exceptional season. Let's be honest. But we'll get straight into the comments. We've got a few more comments coming in. Mitchell says we did in fact not crumble up the Toffees. Yeah, this is the thing. It's the mental resilience that's stopping us from losing games that we should probably lose. We don't roll over. We're not, apart from the first half today, I don't think we are easy to play against. I think we do make life difficult, and I think that's what disappointed me the most about the first half today. We looked easy to play against, and that's very rare for our team. Even for all its flaws, we always seem to make ourselves difficult to break down, and it didn't look that way today. But second half, we looked more like our old selves. We were more resilient, and obviously we had more of a go at Fulham and gave them something to think about, and that's where we get the 2 goals from. The first 60 minutes today, I thought we were really poor, but the last half an hour was more like it. We Stephen Frost pretty much builds on that here. But like he says here, like last game, we came on stronger second half. I'd rather that than be great first half and crap second. I think the second half's when you tend to get more of the moments. As I was saying before, we are a team, I think, that relies on moments. You're more likely to get those in the second half when the game becomes usually a bit more chaotic. And I think we thrive on that. We cause problems. Certainly in the set pieces you saw. Obviously, the winning goal today came from a corner, a really well taken corner from Kieran Dewsbury Hall, right on top of the keeper. And the keeper pretty much punches it into his own net, trying to jump on top of Jake O'Brien, which, let's be honest, that's a tall order for any goalkeeper to out-jump Jake O'Brien. Ben Leno gets his hand around the head of Jake O'Brien and punches it into his own net. First goal from Dewsbury Hall was a well-taken goal as well, and I'm the first one to give Vitaly Mikalenko pelters, and it certainly was when he scored that own goal, and he was atrocious first half, but then the second half was actually probably the best half I've seen from Mikalenko for ages. He actually seemed to push up the pitch and overlap, especially when Tyreek George came on later in the game, but he did really well in the build-up to this goal. He picks the ball up, he checks inside, he nutmegs a defender, gets into the box and plays a lovely little cutback. Dewsbury Hall slots it, and that gets us back on level terms. And then from there, we were the team in the ascendancy. I thought from there on in, we were the side that looked more likely to win the game. So it proved. We get the corner, Dewsbury Hall. Let's not take nothing away. I'm pretty sure that right before the winning goal, Dewsbury Hall whips an absolute peach of a free kick in as well, which Leno has to turn round the post. And that's where we get the corner from. And that again was down to good service, Dewsbury Hall. So I still don't think he's back to his usual self yet, and yet he's still providing these moments of quality. Scored the equaliser, put that free kick in, wins us the corner, then whips a brilliant corner in right on top of the keeper, causes mayhem, and we get the winning goal from it. And that's Keenan Dewsbury Hall. I think he's done it at like 60-70%. I don't think he's back to his best yet, and he's still delivering this kind of quality. Another shout out to Beto, I think, who came on. I thought Tieno Barry was pretty poor today. Just wasn't making the ball stick. But Beto did way more when he came on. Really threw his weight around, won most of his headers, troubled the defenders. There was one point where he did a really good job of flicking the ball inside the defender, getting one-on-one, and Bernd Leno does well to smother him. He seemed to cause more problems than Barry did today. So, we need to keep forcing the standards up, and I think if at least one of the strikers has a decent game, then it keeps the other one on the toes, because Barry will probably know that he can't really keep playing as poorly as he did today and expect to keep his place. I think Barry should still continue to start. I think he's done enough in terms of he's been in good goal scoring form recently, so I think he should keep his place for the next game. But it's good to see Beto come off the bench and have an impact, because he doesn't always do that, but he did have an impact today. He caused problems. He ran the channels really well. I thought he played quite well when he came on. Same again for Tyreek George. I think he came off the bench and he troubled the defenders. They knew they were up against a bona fide winger, which I think is really useful. That was my biggest problem with David Moyes, I think, today, was that I don't think he set us up cohesively at all. Obviously, Jake O'Brien at right back, I'm not a fan of it. Harrison Armstrong as a winger is just not it. I like Harrison Armstrong. I think he's a good player, and I think he still played quite well, but he's not being played in his right position. We have wingers on the bench, Tyreek George, Tyler Diblin. Someone should be getting a go there. But George comes on and has an impact. Beto comes on and has an impact. And all of a sudden, we seem to be we cause them more problems. Dewsbury Hall gets his goal. And then we get the winner from a set piece. I was really happy with the last sort of 20, 25 minutes of this game. We were easily the better team. And if we see more of that, then we're definitely in with a shot of getting into Europe. If we see the first hour of this game more frequently, then there's no chance we get into Europe. It's really that simple. This team's capable of playing well. It's also capable of playing very badly. It's an inconsistent team. If we can just be a little bit more consistently good than the other sides around us, like your Fulhams and your Brentfords, then we're in with a real shout of getting into Europe. It's a big ask, but we could still do it. I'm not 100% convinced, but if we can string a few decent results together, then we're right in the hunt for Europe. And if you'd have told me that at the start of the season, I'd have been gobsmacked. So I'm really happy with that. Did Barry or Beto score today? Answer to that is no, for starters. But he started to rate George's game. I think he, like I say, he offers the presence of an actual winger. I think he looked like he was willing to take people on. He had that one moment where he cut inside and smashed it over the bar. But it's clear that he's got ability and he's willing to take players on. He's got something that we didn't have before. I will be pleased to see him potentially start the next game, or certainly get more minutes than he did here off the bench. Stephen Frost says, if it wasn't for our home form, we would be in the top 5 or 6. Yeah, exactly. I think I'm not surprised to see us come away from this away game with 3 points. Don't get me wrong. We played poorly for large parts of it, but we do have this mentality where we go to these away grounds and feel like we're going to get the results at the moment, but we need to translate it into the home games. We just haven't been good enough at home. Look how poorly we played against Leeds, Wolves, Brentford. Those performances weren't good enough. We need to try and replicate these performances in the home games, which is difficult because I think we're a side that we're not good at taking the initiative. Fulham were expected to probably win this game today, being the home side, being a side with really good home form as well. And the pressure was off us, and we showed that we kind of played, certainly towards the end of the game when we were already losing. I think we played like the pressure was off us. When we're at home, we're expected to win games more regularly, and I don't think our players can handle that pressure. Some of them certainly can't. We need to start. I think this is where I'm saying earlier in the show that we don't play cohesive football enough. We don't attack in waves the way most other teams do, a lot better than us, I think. We rely too much on moments of quality from our best players or set pieces, and that really plays into us doing well away from home when we kind of sucker punch the teams, but we're not a team that's good at dominating the game and dominating the ball, and that's why we don't win enough home games, in my opinion. You look at the way Fulham played at home today. Obviously, they didn't win this game, but the first half, they were much better than us. They controlled possession. They attacked in waves. They just weren't clinical enough in the first half. But I feel like if we played like they did at home, we'd have a much better home record. And, we talk about Barry and Beto not getting enough goals, but I think you'd see those two scoring more goals if we, attacked more cohesively as a team in open play. We're capable of getting goals from set pieces. We're capable of our most gifted players producing moments of quality, but as a team, we just don't progress the ball well enough. I think a lot of that's down to the setup. need a right back playing at right back, not Jake O'Brien, and that's not a slight on O'Brien. I think he's a decent player, but he should be playing at centre back. We need a right back who plays at right back. It's just round pegs and round holes, and I think we go so much further as a team, especially at home. We need a right back to play right back. We need a pacey winger and probably a more comfortable ball playing midfielder as well than Idrissa Gueye. I think those three players, and I think you might see a better team. It could be interesting if Tyreek George is that man and he can play on the opposite wing to Ndai. Then we might see an improvement in our home form. Even one out of those three positions being improved could make a bit of a difference. And I think that even our strikers, as limited as they are, would get more goals if we played more cohesively and kept the ball better and passed the ball better. If we could get forward and attack more cohesively, I think we could give Barry or Beto the service that could at least get them a few more goals. Even if they're not the best strikers, they'll certainly score more with better service. Yeah, I think the right back position really needs to be addressed in the summer. That's got to be the priority. I'm still quite annoyed that it wasn't addressed in this window. That's just closed. But hey ho, we move on. Tyreek George obviously comes in, and we have got another winger to choose from, which is good. And like I say, I would like to see the midfield strengthened as well, but you can't do it all in January. But the right back's the one. I think that's the real priority that needs to be addressed first and foremost in the summer, whatever happens. But I do believe that we've got the makings of a decent team. We've certainly got the mentality of a team that's not going to go down without a fight. We're not going to lose many games, that's for sure. But it's turning some of these draws into wins and some, getting some more belief. I think we just need to start doing better at home, and this season's there for the taking, that's for sure. Stephen Frost also said it might take the pressure off our next home game. We could go for the wins, be more positive. George has pace, which we must exploit. I'm not sure if he's the quickest winger, but he's certainly quicker than what we already had. And we need to see him. I think we need to, if he doesn't start the game, he certainly needs to be subbed on earlier than today. I think he came on about 60, 65 minutes. Let's get him on early doors. If it's not working out at home next week against, I think we've got, who have we got next? It's Bournemouth on Tuesday night, isn't it? We've got Bournemouth on Tuesday. If it's not working out against Bournemouth and we're not winning at half time, I'd get him on straight away. That's if he doesn't start, of course. But I think he could offer more. Certainly offers more than Armstrong on the wing. As Blue Badger pretty much pointed out, Armstrong on the wing. Like, what was he thinking there, David Moyes? Like, I really like Harrison Armstrong. I thought he played quite well in spite of the fact that he was in the wrong position. But he needs to be playing in the centre. That's his position. Let's just start playing players in the correct position. And that would make us so much more well-built, well-structured. And I think we would have more cohesion in our attacks if we just have players playing in the positions the most comfortable. It's not really rocket science, but David Moyes, even though he's such a good manager, grinding out results such as this today, it does boggle your mind sometimes. Like, he makes football look so difficult sometimes, and yet at the same time he delivers results like these. Like, and it's the results that matter. Like, as Blue Badger says here, wow, what a 3 points we weren't expecting. Certainly weren't expecting it at half time, but we've turned it around, and I think that's one of the most impressive things for me today, is that we don't come from behind and win games enough. I think Crystal Palace at Hill Dickinson in October was the only other time this season that we've actually come from behind and won a game. So that's really pleasing, and that needs to happen more often. If we are going to go behind in games, we need to turn games around and win them. And yeah, I'm really pleased to see that we've won from behind. That's a sign of good character, and that'll set us in good stead, I think, for the rest of the season. That's probably the most pleasing aspect of today, I'd say, for me, is that we haven't just stayed in the game and grabbed a point. We've come back and took all three. We did it at Fulham last season as well, of course, went 1-0 down and came back to win 3-1. So, it's good to see that we've got this resilience, because that's going to be crucial to us. I don't think we're one of the most gifted sides in terms of quality, but if we've got that resilience, it could be the difference between qualifying for Europe or missing out. But I'm really proud of the fact that we pulled this back today, and it upsets me that we don't come from behind to win enough. I always feel a bit deflated when we concede first. I feel like that's the idea. I pretty much said to my dad, I was watching the game with my dad today, and I pretty much said that's pretty much game over as far as a win's concerned. And the fact that we have come back and won this game is really, really surprising and really pleasing. We need to show this kind of ability to come back and win games and turn games on its head, and that's really promising. If we can carry this on, I think we've got a really good chance of getting into Europe against all the odds. We've not got the strongest of squads. Fulham have a stronger squad than we did, but we've come here and beat them. There's other teams with stronger squads than us, and we've beaten them earlier in the season. If we could do better at home, then, like I say, this season's there for the taking, but it's onwards and upwards for now, at least. Good results, and we can't complain. Up to 7th, as someone said in the chat earlier as well. You know, if we're there come the end of the season, it's European football next season, and that's what we're all hoping for. So, like I say, onwards and upwards. We'll leave it at that. Let us know your opinions, even after the stream's finished. Keep your comments coming in. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Almost 800 viewers today. Thank you so much for getting involved, dropping your comments in the chat, and tuning in, and celebrating another win. Onwards and upwards, like I say. Keep your comments coming in. Give this video a like and subscribe for more content on the Toffee Blues. And thanks for tuning in.